Among the dignitaries attending the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, Chinese Vice President Wang Qishan and his entourage who represented Xi Jinping at the funeral were about the only ones wearing masks, appearing out of place. A video uploaded on the internet shows that on September 18th, Wang and other Chinese Communist Party officials appeared at the Westminster Hall of the British Parliament in London to pay respect to the Queen's coffin, all four of them wearing masks, in sharp contrast to the non-masked crowd at the scene. On September 19th, Wang and his fellow members entered Westminster Abbey with dignitaries from various countries to attend the state funeral for the Queen. As seen from the video and photos, only Wang and his entourage wore white masks, making them particularly eye-catching among the dark mourning crowd. The United Kingdom, like most countries around the world, has long eliminated the need to wear masks, and the VIPs from more than 100 countries who came to the funeral, from heads of state to government premiers, from President Joe Biden to the Emperor of Japan, didn't wear masks. The action of Wang aroused much public curiosity. They wondered, is Wang afraid of being infected or affecting others? No one wears masks in the UK long ago. Why do Wang and his colleagues wear masks? Why do they always have to be so different from everyone else? I'm speechless. If the mask were black, would it be less obvious? A global oddity, the Qing dynasty from before wore braids. The latter wears masks, characteristics of Chinese style. Popular Chinese science writer Fang Zhouzi tweeted, "The British Queen's funeral was shocked to see masked guests. Like alien clothing, masks have also become Chinese national costumes and are highly recognizable." Others saw it as a sign of Wang's declaration of allegiance to the CCP leader Xi Jinping. Even Xi Jinping wore a mask to Kazakhstan. How dare Wang Qishan not? Chinese President Xi Jinping traveled to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan 2 days ago to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) summit. It was his first visit outside China in more than 2 years since the outbreak of COVID-19. During the summit, Xi wore a mask most of the time in public, except for his meeting with Putin and the president of Uzbekistan. Xi also didn't attend the SCO summit dinner, citing compliance with China's epidemic prevention policy, yet none of the leaders from other nations at the dinner wore a mask. Commentator Shen Xiaoping tweeted, "In addition to the Guizhou bus accident, which killed a lot of people who were on the way to be taken for quarantine as a result of China's zero-COVID policy, China has attracted global attention for 3 recent mask incidents. The first time, the women's volleyball team wore a mask to participate in an international competition, and the second time, the Chinese head of state participated in the SCO summit, and then the Queen's state funeral where China's deputy head of state and his entourage wore masks. Isn't this a real Chinese feature and a remarkable Chinese story?" It was previously reported that the Speaker of the British House of Commons refused to allow Chinese representatives to enter the Palace of Westminster for condolences because of Beijing's sanctions on British MPs, but it took a 180-degree turn later. Previously, The Guardian reported that the Speaker of the British House of Commons, Lindsay Hoyle, ordered to ban the Chinese ambassador from entering the Parliament in 2021 after Beijing sanctioned 7 British MPs who had criticized human rights in Xinjiang. He also said that the ban on Chinese officials would remain in effect as long as Beijing didn't lift the sanctions. Another MP publicly said that the CCP should be banned from attending the Queen's funeral. According to the BBC, Labour MP Helena Kennedy, who has been sanctioned by Beijing, said, "The CCP is attacking our parliamentary and constitutional system through members of our legislature, and should be banned from attending the national celebration of the Queen's life." Tim Loughton, another conservative British lawmaker sanctioned by the CCP, said he had written to the British government that it should cancel any invitations to such an important occasion as the Queen's funeral because of the CCP's human rights abuses and mistreatment of Uyghurs in the Xinjiang region. Hoyle's move is seen as a sign of a new diplomatic rift in relations between China and the UK, as the British Parliament has become tougher on the CCP than the British government. Former British Foreign Secretary and current Prime Minister Liz Truss stated during her election campaign that she would take a more hawkish and tougher approach to China than former Prime Minister Johnson. She also plans to update the British government's long-term diplomatic and defense strategy, intends to officially recognize what happened to the Uyghurs in Xinjiang as genocide, and recently told the CCP ambassador to the UK that the CCP has elevated aggressive behavior and rhetoric that threatens the peace and stability of the Taiwan Strait region. But then, the British Parliament said that world leaders or their representatives could attend the state funeral if they were invited to do so.